Hello, I'm Stephen Owsley. Welcome back to Gold on the Shelf, breaking down excellence in media with depth and wit. And now we're going to look at the 2019 Emmy mini series category, or what I like to call it, where unknowns and movie stars go to duke it out for awards. Because the amount of movie stars in these shows is crazy. And of course, when Jimmy Kimmel hosted 2 years ago, he made a joke about because Julia Roberts and Mark Ruffalo were in The Normal Heart, and they were just again Oscar nominees and winners at the Emmys, and there is some tension. So if there's going to be tension between movie stars and TV actors, it's going to be in this category. Let's get started. I'm going to list all of the miniseries. I'm going to then go from least nominees to most nominees and break down their chances and their content. Very good field this year. This is where I think, as more exciting miniseries and as audiences love to binge, the 6 to 10 episode miniseries is now very palatable, very exciting, and very accessible to audiences. It's like 6-hour movies almost. So, the nominees are Sharp Objects, Escape Dannemora, When They See Us, Fosse, Verdon, so good. Sorry, they're all good. I'm unbiased. I have so much bias. And Chernobyl. Sharp Objects has the least nominations with 8. However, it's a frontrunner in a different category, which we'll break down when we get to her. It's the Amy Adams show on HBO. It's well regarded, but a lot of snubs, a lot of surprises, because there aren't as many miniseries and made-for-television movies. So most of the actors in Sharp Objects, besides Amy Adams and Patricia Clarkson, were snubbed. Chris Messina, who I love, nowhere to be seen. Nominated for 3 Golden Globes. Of course, Amy Adams is always a nominee, never a winner. She's been nominated for 6 Oscars with no win and 8 Golden Globes with 1 win. So Amy, I don't know what I think she has 2 Golden Globes. I think so. But she's just always a bridesmaid. Of course, Sharp Objects was directed by Jean-Marc Vallée, who directed Dallas Buyers Club, and he directed Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto to Oscars, of course, and he directed the first season of Big Little Lies, which won Emmys for Nicole Kidman, Alexander Skarsgård, and Laura Dern. So I'm sure that when Amy Adams was putting together her awards package, she was like, this guy wins awards for people. And of course, Patricia Clarkson won the Golden Globe and the Critics' Choice Award. We'll get to her in her category. She's a lock. Sharp Objects is also a really wonderful show. I loved it. Written by Gillian Flynn, who did Gone Girl. However, I really think there should be a trigger warning card in front of this miniseries, because self-harm is an issue we need to talk about. However, cutting is one thing. It's, if you watch the movie 13 with Evan Rachel Wood and Holly Hunter, or if you've seen The Affair season 1, self-harm has popped up before. But in Sharp Objects, there's a kind of self-harm I had only ever heard about that Amy Adams does, and is so graphic and triggering that I think people should really do a little bit of research, and maybe it would have been responsible for HBO to have mentioned that before just putting it out there. Acting is gorgeous. The last 10 minutes of that series are so cathartic and amazing, but it's very gritty. Amy wanted to make a risk, and she did. Escape Dannemora, a true story of a prison guard woman who begins to sleep with 2 inmates and orchestrates their escape. So the 3 of them work together. They're both sleeping with her. It's a whole thing. True story. Happened 2 years ago in upstate New York. And Ben Stiller, of course, was the one they brought in to direct it. Zoolander himself directed this miniseries. It's incredible. Oscar winner Benicio del Toro, Oscar winner Patricia Arquette, and everyone's favorite grown-up Michael Cera, Paul Dano. It's got a very fancy cast. I don't see it winning here. It could. There's a lock in a different category. When They See Us. Again, about the Central Park Five, Ava DuVernay's spiritual successor to Selma. Ava DuVernay, I think, like Patty Jenkins, has had a hard time finding her director's tone and niche. She didn't want to be she talks about this. She didn't want to be the social justice girl after Selma because she got every script about civil rights. So she did Wrinkle in Time. She did a number of other Queen Sugar with Oprah. But When They See Us brings all of the best of her to this story, and the camera angles and the choices and the performances are so beautifully pinpointed and used and so raw that it really deserves all the awards that it's getting and will get. So it's right in the middle of the pack with 16 nominations, but I think When They See Us could take the whole thing. Fosse Verdon is a Hollywood story starring Oscar winner Sam Rockwell, Oscar nominee, 4-time nominee Michelle Williams, and just a bunch of fancy people being fancy about fanciness. So it's such awards bait because the Academies, television and film, love to pay homage to themselves. So actors playing actors about actors, marrying actors, divorcing actors, making things, being creative, having conflict. That's what The Dresser is about. Feud, Betty and Joan. There have been a number of mini series and made for TV movies about that stuff. A lot of them. So I think Fosse Verdon could win, but after we get to the top pick, I'll break that down a little further. I think that Sam Rockwell could be close to a lock, but we'll get to his category, and we'll talk about it there. And then, so again, recapping before we get to the Queen Mother. Sharp Objects has 8 nominations. Escape at Dannemora has 12 nominations. When They See Us has 16 nominations. Fosse Verdon 17, and Chernobyl with 19. Chernobyl was pretty freaking gorgeous. That was a 4-part miniseries. So HBO took a page from Netflix's book, because When They See Us is also 4 parts, hour and something long. So it's like 4-hour movies basically. And Chernobyl and When They See Us are, I think, the 2 true contenders. They're period pieces about gritty crime. So Chernobyl, and they're both about the powers that be covering up evidence and wrongdoing. So they are both heavy with political commentary. So I think a show like Sharp Objects and Fosse Verdon fall in the less important category, perhaps, because Sharp Objects is fiction. Gillian Flynn wrote it, yes, based on some of her life experiences, but it's more Lifetime, more pulpy, though beautifully executed, than, of course, Gillian Flynn wrote Gone Girl, so it's like Gone Girl, a Gone Girl-like miniseries. So good. But it's very much for entertainment, even though the self-harm stuff really puts it in a different category. And then Fosse Verdon is a fascinating look inside Bob Fosse's film and stage legacy. But Escape at Dannemora takes on the prison system and escape from prison and punitive stuff and investigations. It's very heavy with that stuff. And then When They See Us, wrongfully accused young African-American men. And then Chernobyl, about a government lying about how bad things are. So very timely stuff, very hot button stuff. So my money's on Chernobyl just because it got the most nominations, and I truly think that there's a lot in here. It's technical. It's a very European cast. Emily Watson just better win that Emmy. So I think Chernobyl will take it. I enjoyed, and enjoy is a tough. Enjoy is hard to. I've seen all of them. Fosse Verdon entertained me as a lover of theater. When They See Us was just an incredible return to form for Ava DuVernay. And Escape at Dannemora, the middle was so weak and undercooked, but then when the last 2 episodes are happening, when the men escape from prison with her help, and then that subsequent manhunt was just fantastic. So I think Chernobyl will take it, or When They See Us. I liked them all, and I really would enjoy I will enjoy seeing any of these casts and producers on stage, excepting this one. This is a very even, very high cinematic quality miniseries. So what do you think? Which ones have you seen? Which ones do you think deserve the most attention? The only streaming one here is When They See Us, which was on Netflix, of course. Supposedly broke the Netflix servers. And the other ones were all on traditional networks and cable. So which one did you see? Do you agree with me on the Sharp Objects? Are you interested to watch Sharp Objects now? Where's Chris Messina's nomination? What do you think about Escape at Dannemora? Were you as impressed that Ben Stiller pulled off a prison heist with as much grit as he did? And do you think that Chernobyl is really going to take it? I don't know. What did you think of Chernobyl? So please leave me a comment. I hope to connect with you very soon, and I hope to see you again on Gold on the Shelf.